Joy Myers, and I'm here with my colleague and good friend, Brooke Warner. And hi, Brooke, good morning.
Good morning.
And we're here to talk with you all about our wonderful fall class that we're offering, The Courage to Write Fearlessly. Now, this topic is huge. There are so many subtopics to, and we're just going to go through them and tell you all what we're teaching. This class starts September 20th and goes for 6 weeks. So, hey, what's our first one? The Courage to Write Fearlessly. The first guest is Stephanie Fu. Tell us about what she's going to be teaching us.
Yeah, Stephanie Fu is the author of the amazing book, What My Bones Know. This is the book that has most touched me this year. So I've been a bit of an ambassador for it. Stephanie is incredible, and she is going to be joining us to teach about the fear of getting it right. And Stephanie is particularly interested in this idea of being a representative voice for your community. So in her case, that was the community of people diagnosed with PTSD, her community of Asian Americans. And there's just a lot of different ways that we know, Linda Joy, writers worry about getting it right. Is your truth the same as your siblings or your parents' truth? No, we all experience things differently. And so this just comes up as a big concern for writers when they're processing their own experience. So I'm super excited about what Stephanie will share on this topic. And we're just going to keep going through all 6 of these, hoping to share with all of you how excited we are about what topics we've been able to wrangle. And the next one is my topic, Linda Joy, fear of overwhelm, which you're going to say something about.
Yes, yes. Well, I've known you a long time, and you really do help everyone, and you, including me, with the fear of overwhelm. And part of the fear of overwhelm has to do with what's my structure? Where am I starting? How can I organize this darn thing? We all come in with so many memories and so many layers, to our story. And Brooke and I've been teaching for a long time, and you've always, had like very simple, but, addressing all the solutions that we actually need to look at overwhelm. And so we're going to be, Brooke's going to be talking about outlining and organization and how to think about, I know she's a self-confessed organizational nerd, but all in the best ways. I remember bringing stuff to you and going, I don't know what to do with this, and we hear about this wonderful skill you have from other people that you work with and that we work together with in our 6-month class. So I can't wait to see some of your magic show up in this course this fall.
Thank you for that. And so I'll continue on with the next class, which will be Overcoming the Fear of Making Bold Assertions with Mychal Denzel Smith, another incredible New York Times bestselling author who we're so privileged to have. He wrote a book called Invisible Man Got the Whole World Watching, which is his memoir. He's got a newer book called Stakes is High, but that one's not a memoir. And so we're going to be focusing on this one. Making bold assertions, we know, Linda Joy, doesn't come easily for most people. It's one of those things that people start to feel fear. They start to feel fear of their own opinions, fear of retribution, fear of being too big for their britches. Maybe they've heard that growing up, that somehow making bold assertions and having your own feelings, and especially bold feelings, and especially for women, you're not allowed. You need to be quiet. You need to tone it down. And yet so much of memoir is really about having the courage to have those opinions and to say what is your truth. And so Mychal Denzel Smith is amazing on this. He's written a book that is full of bold assertions. And so he has a thing or two to share with us on that. I cannot wait to hear what he has to say. Really interesting stuff.
Yeah,
The next one.
Oh, sorry. I look forward to it too, because, sometimes we have people who've been in academia coming to our class,
Right.
and they were taught, don't ever use I, don't state what you think and feel. And so I think that in particular is really going to help give some insight into that problem.
Yeah, definitely. All right. Well, we're just going to cruise through. The next class is your class, Fear of Family Fallout. And before you say a word on it, I will say, obviously you have your own experience on this. I love hearing you share your own journey of fear of family fallout, and then real family fallout. So this is actually a really big one that people grapple with.
Oh my gosh. Every class, in my organization, the National Association of Memoir Writers, we have meetings 3 times every month, and this topic comes up probably in every meeting, and in all of our classes. And for me, there were truths that I needed to share, that were I knew an extended family that I had. I might get ejected from that family if I wrote the truth. And in fact, in my first book, Don't Call Me Mother, I held back from stating things completely specifically, and it didn't matter. It meant that they were understood, they were known, the secrets were actually known. And so then I went further, way further than that in my second memoir. But we run into people in every class who are, we're teaching them to write that first draft, just put it all out there and so on. So we're going to go into the layers of it, because it isn't just what they're going to say, it's what they're saying in our head while we're writing, even if we don't show it to anybody yet. And so we really need help. We all need help with that.
It's an important distinction too, because it's multifold. It's like they're in our heads, they're in our real lives, and it doesn't matter that people might be dead. They can still be tapping at your door. Yep. So absolutely. And the next one is the fear of getting sued with Jonathan Kirsch. And I love Jonathan. He is a well-known lawyer. He does a lot of manuscript vetting for She Writes Press, my publishing company. I have seen his work. He knows really well what you need to be thinking about, what you need to avoid. But Linda Joy, we also know that most people are afraid of getting sued when that is actually, in fact, quite far-fetched. It's not to say that no one is ever going to run into legal jeopardy with their manuscripts. But what I love about Jonathan is that he helps put it into context. What is actually libelous? What qualifies, things that you can't say? What can you change in your memoir? So this is going to be a really nuts and bolts kind of class from a guy who happens to be a lawyer, but doesn't speak that jargon. He really knows writers, and I've seen him in a million presentations. I just think he's the best. And so really, really excited that he'll be here to teach on this topic. Writers need it for a reassurance more than anything.
I'm thrilled too, because this is another question that comes up pretty much in every discussion in every class. And it's a fear that is in many cases irrational, but it feels very real. And so people are silenced. They are tempted not to write or give it up. And so I'm thrilled that we're doing that.
Yeah, me too. Me too. And then our heavy hitter, Carmen Maria Machado, who, is so wonderful. This book is a wow. Anyone who hasn't read it yet, please do. I mean, this is a reason enough to come to class, honestly, and just hear what she has to say about exposure, another topic well, Linda Joy. But I think this is a big one that writers are both kind of excited about putting themselves out there in the world, and also completely terrified. So it's a bit of a double edge on this one.
Yeah, and there's the fear of exposure is another one of those very internal experiences. It's connected with shame or having been shamed. It's connected with judgment, others, and our own. So when we're writing these truths and trying to find them, these are the kinds of sentences and paragraphs that show up in our head. And so it's very inspiring to see someone write out the very deep and intimate, very, very intimate truth that in her book, The Dream House, and also the way she talks about these things. It just makes us go, well, maybe I can, or let me try, or I'm going to do that in the first draft, and then we'll see what happens.
I think that's the thing with all of the teachers, is so much helpful support to know that you all can go out there and do this, and that if you feel these fears, you are the opposite of alone. Everyone doing this feels those same fears, and they persevere and they do it anyway. And so there's great comfort, but there's also some real tips and strategies. So this is just going to be a fantastic class, Linda Joy. I feel like we keep outdoing ourselves, which is saying something. And I always just get so excited when we are bringing in these amazing people whose memoirs we love so much. So a reminder for everyone to go check out magicofmemoir.com. Class starts on September 20th, which is a Tuesday, and runs 6 consecutive Tuesdays. We would love to have you. And everything is recorded. That's an important point. And I think that's it, Linda Joy. We'll see everybody on the 20th.
See you all the beginning of fall.
Perfect timing.